Dum-dum, diddle-dum-dum, diddle-dum-dum, diddle-dum-dum. There was a turtle by the name of Bert, and the turtle was very alert. When danger threatened him, he never got hurt. He knew just what to do. He ducked and covered, ducked and...
If a nuclear weapon went off in your vicinity, how much good would ducking and covering actually do? A 1 megaton bomb, about 80 times the size of the one dropped on Hiroshima, would probably destroy nearly everything in about a 4.7-mile radius. Farther out, injuries caused by flying glass and debris and heat could actually be prevented by ducking and covering. However, there's a second part of a nuclear weapon, radiation. Nearly everyone within 30 miles of the 1 megaton bomb will die of radiation poisoning within a couple of hours. Since radiation affects a much larger area than the actual blast, why were children taught to duck and cover? Examining the information that children were presented about the bomb can help us unlock the real message. While atomic weapons were a danger in themselves, the fear and panic that they could cause presented a greater and more immediate danger. Thus, the main reason for civil defense aimed at children was to domesticate the bomb. By making the bomb a part of daily life, the government hoped to ease the children's fears. The methods used to communicate this information acknowledged the bomb as a danger. Instead of pretending that the bomb did not exist, teachers provided ways for children to feel safe. While the fact that the bomb was dangerous was communicated to the students, it was never done to the fullest extent. Words like war, death, and bombing were rarely used. They were replaced by less specific, safer words, such as crisis, tension, and emergency. These words allowed the children to grasp the severity of the situation without becoming overly frightened by it. Multiple forms of media were prevalent at the time which affected children. They watched television, read books, and went to the movies. The National Educational Association and the Federal Civil Defense Administration combined forces to make a duck and cover film for schools. This film featured a turtle, named Bert, who ducked and covered in his shell when something scared him. A narrator explained to the watching children how and when to duck and cover. While many schools did not show their students the duck and cover film, nearly all schools had some form of a duck and cover drill.
I recall them in about the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grades, that we used to do that just like a regular fire drill. Every so often, maybe once a month, we'd have to do the duck and cover drills. And there were 2 different times. Sometimes you just got underneath your desk and, put your hands behind your head or behind your neck. And at other times later, they made us, we would go out into the hallway, so we got away from the windows, and again, line up along the hallway outside our rooms, and again, got down and covered our neck and back of our head with our hands. And we did that, pretty much probably once a month or so, as I recall.
I remember also being told by teachers that if we were on the playground outdoors and if we were to see a very bright flash, that what we should do is look around and see if we could find a hollow place, a low place in the ground where we would lie down and cover our heads and don't look at the flash.
It was like a fire drill. It's like a fire drill today. No one is really ever afraid of a fire drill today, so that was just like a part of the routine.
Many people who participated in duck and cover drills compare them to fire drills. While a nuclear attack and a school fire may seem to have little in common, what they both presented was a danger. Children knew that they would be safe in the case of a fire because they could leave the building. They also understood that in case of a nuclear attack, there was a set routine that would keep them safe. This cartoon clip shows a house as an atomic bomb hits. While it looks dangerous, what is shown is nothing near the danger of the actual bomb. The house is still standing, the barn is barely damaged, and Bert the turtle is safe within his shell. The bomb still appears dangerous, but it is a survivable danger. Children watching would be comforted by knowing that they could be safe as long as they ducked and covered.
They didn't describe to us what the flash really was. In other words, they didn't point out that if we didn't find a hollow place, probably all of our skin would be burned off. They just said that we should find a place and lie down because it was going to be a big bomb.
A noteworthy example of the type of information being presented to children was the book Our Friend the Atom. In 1957, it appeared as a cartoon on the Disney show. Disney was, and is, a well-known and respected company. At the time, over 1 billion people in the world had watched at least one Disney cartoon. Disney had also helped with propaganda during World War II, producing morale-boosting cartoons. It was an ideal situation to make children feel comfortable about the atom. Along with its television segment and book about the benefits of the atom, Disney also had an Our Friend the Atom ride at Disneyland. The book Our Friend the Atom had much in common with the duck and cover drills. It acknowledged that there was a danger presented by the splitting of the atom, but focused on the other aspects of it. Just as the duck and cover drills gave children a safe way to control the bomb, this book gave children a sanitized way to look at the atom. It begins with a story about a poor fisherman who casts his net out 4 times a day. One day his net pulls in a bottle, which he rubs, and a genie comes out. It is explained that the genie represents the atom. This atomic genie threatens to kill the fisherman. The picture of the genie here is large and scary, with bright yellows, reds, and oranges creating a volatile image. The fisherman tricks the genie into going back into the bottle. When the genie pleads to be let out, the fisherman agrees on the condition that the genie will not kill him. After getting back out of the bottle, the genie offers the man 3 wishes. Here the genie has been tamed and his picture is much smaller, bluer, and calmer. The story communicates that it is all right to be afraid of the atomic bomb, but the danger can be easily contained. The genie, or the atom, can not only be easily contained, but can also grant our wishes. At the end of the book, the author voices 3 wishes for the future of the atom. The first is energy, or power. The second is health and food. The third is, ironically, peace. The rest of the book is a discussion of the scientific advancements that have led to the atom as it was known in the 1950s, but focuses as much on the lives of the scientists as on their discoveries. For example, there are 4 pages on Galileo, and only 1 sentence in which any contribution to the discovery of the atom is even mentioned. This emphasis on the friendly, happy side of the atom was the basis of the book and helped children to adjust to the idea of the atom bomb. While the number of children scared by the threat of a nuclear attack may never be known, many took the nuclear threat in stride and remained largely unaffected.
Never, especially as young children, doubting that your family, your school was going to take care of you. There just was not much in the way of anxiety.
While the government's efforts to repress the children's fears were largely effective, some children were keenly aware of the atomic threat that hung over them, as evidenced by the fact that the events of that decade remain keenly in their minds.
I didn't feel a sense of immediate fright. I don't remember it keeping me awake at night, but I do feel that there was a general pall, a general feeling of anxiety that pervaded me and everybody else, really, that there was a potentiality for doom.
Duck and cover, duck and cover. He did what we all must learn to do. You and you and you and you, you and you and you and you. Duck and cover.
Remember what to do, friends. Now tell me right out loud. What are you supposed to do when you see the flash?